Hey everybody, welcome back to Darvanalee Designs Studio. For those that don't know, my name's Nicole Reed and today we're here for my weekly Stitch with me and we are working on Snow Village. We are working on the skate and sled shop. We are the next row down. And as I've said, I am doing this as one piece. And I think we'll be working with a couple of colours today. I think we'll be working with tea and biscuits, some white, and possibly some green as well. So that is what it looks like. And I'll just make sure that my screen is locked so when I'm moving my fingers around it doesn't unfocus. So it's going to be cute when it's done. I'm really happy with it. So yeah, so we'll be working with some tea and biscuits, which is this colour here. And I believe I've got one more row to do there. And then I will be doing some green and some lighter green by the looks of it. So yeah, so I'm going to spend about 45 minutes with you, and sorry if I hit the mic then, I do apologise. So I am going to spend about 45 minutes with you today and get some more stitches into this. So how has everybody been? Hopefully you have all been well and you are staying dry no matter where you are, because it is a wet and miserable day today. It has been a wet and miserable weekend, to be honest. So yeah. I am pre-filming this on a Saturday, so this is going up on the Monday. Well, you'll be viewing this on Monday. So I've done a lot of batch filming this week because I will be away at retreat. I am very much looking forward to going away. Definitely could do with being away off the veranda, so I am trying to get a lot of stuff done. All right, so I might just have to adjust this a little bit. So let me just move this along, just a little bit off center right now. There we go, that's a bit better. All right, it might look a little bit skewiff to you guys, but that is comfortable for me. So let me just maybe move it back just a touch. Sorry about that. I thought I had it in the right position when I started, obviously not. All right, so Tea and Biscuits is actually a Classic Colourworks colour. These colours came with the kit that I got from the Fat Quarter Shop, for those that have been asking. There is a link down below where you can actually get this from the Fat Quarter Shop, and that is an affiliate link. So anything you purchase using that link, I get a small commission for, so I do appreciate that. Still a little bit croaky in the voice. All right, so what is everybody working on today? Just leave me a comment down below. We're going to talk a little bit about the videos that came out last week. So just a reminder that we have the final block going up for our Halloween mini quilt wall hanging quilt along is going up on Wednesday, and the finishing video is going up on Thursday. So I've split the videos, and I will be away this weekend, leaving the family behind at home, and I'm off to go for a weekend of stitching just to get away. So that's pretty cool. Pretty happy about that. Got a lot of sewing and whatnot to do this week before I go. Hopefully I will be able to get everything sorted by Wednesday, Thursday. I'll be travelling on Friday, and yeah, and then I'll come home on the Sunday evening. I'll get home by the time I leave, so it'll be a nice weekend away. I'm looking forward to it. So chatting with some friends that I haven't seen in ages. Exciting news, we are starting up. Oh, did I just... Oh, I forgot to move the thread. Come on. Which one are you? One of yous. Alright. to pull that back out. Now I can't pull it back out because it's bloody locked in there. Ugh, I hate that when that happens, when you don't move your thread. Alright, I'm just going to finish that thread there because that will go through and be too thick. So I didn't move my thread. So what's happened is then I've got 3 threads because only 1 thread came through. So annoying. So I've just put that back through when I had 2 threads, and yeah, we'll be good to go now. And I do apologise if I keep bumping that microphone. I got a new microphone and I'm not used to it yet, and I keep bumping it. So I do apologise if you get a couple of bumps. I am becoming more and more aware of it. So hopefully I will stop that nasty little habit sooner rather than later. All right, I have a little bit of a bird's nest happening here. It all fell on the ground the other day and I just swooped it up and forgot to sort it. I'm going to sneeze. I hope I don't. All right. Is that 2 threads or 3? Jeez, what is going on with my threads today? That is 3 threads. So let me just pull that out. There's not much of a variegation in the tea and biscuits, so I'm just using 1 thread at a time because there seriously there's hardly any variegation in it. There's a slight, but not much at all. So I'm just going to use it like standard floss. I think would be the way to go. All right. So I'm going to do a loop start. It's threaded. I thought I had another needle already threaded, but obviously not. Not really with it this morning. It's pretty early and yeah, I'm not exactly very coherent right now. All right, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. All right. All right, so I normally talk about books that I have, like a book that I've read and watched a movie, but I haven't done any of that yet. So, but I do have another one that I'm going to do a comparison for, and that is The Martian by Andy Weir. I am almost finished that book. By the time this video goes up, I would have already finished the book. So, I'm going to watch the movie and, yeah, do a little bit of a comparison and see if it's close to the book or not. I have heard that it's pretty close to the book. I think my husband has already watched it, so I'll have to watch it when he's not home because he doesn't do rewatches. I don't mind watching a movie a couple of times. You know, I have my favourite staples. So in the comments below, tell me what your favourite movie is to rewatch. Do you have a particular movie that you like to rewatch? One of my favourites to rewatch is the Harry Potter franchise. Those movies, I like rewatching those. You know, your classics, your classic rom-coms, When Harry Met Sally, all those sort of ones. I'm not a huge fan of the rom-com, but I don't mind on a, you know, I might have them going in the background while I'm reading or something like that, or maybe just while I'm stitching. But I don't get to watch them too often because, as I said, my partner, when he's home, he sort of has the TV and I'm usually watching TV with him. When he's not home, I'm generally not watching TV. But my all-time favourite movie to watch, and I try to watch it every year if it's available, is Die Hard, because it is a Christmas movie. And I don't care what anybody says. So I tend to watch that every year, and I don't mind watching the Lethal Weapon movies as well. I'm a bit of an action girl. I do like an action movie. And I don't generally rewatch horror movies or anything like that. They're sort of a one and done. And I don't like mysteries as well. They're sort of one and done because you already know how it's going to finish. It's the same, sort of the same with mystery books as well. You know, once you've worked out the mystery, they're a one and done. No. And most of my mysteries and thriller books I get on Kindle. I try to find them on Kindle Unlimited and that, because I'm not really fussed on, like, I like reading them, and but I'm not really, like, I'm not a diehard follow an author. I'm happy to read whatever. It just is, if I'm struggling to find something to read, like that I want to really, really read and I don't have it or whatnot, and I want to get it in the physical form, to what I'll do is I will just read a mystery book from Kindle Unlimited, and that's just like essentially borrowing from the library and then returning it. I don't tend to go and borrow books from the library. I do have a library card, but I don't know, I just don't do it. So I have Kindle Unlimited, which is essentially the same thing, except I don't have to wait for the book. Like, if sometimes, and I think that's what happened, like, years and years ago, I just got out of the habit of going to the library, because every time I went to the library and I was looking for a particular book, especially here in Kingaroy, it's not a big library either. It was just like every time I went there, the books that I wanted weren't there, and then I'd get some books and they just weren't great. Like, they weren't what I wanted. It wasn't what I was in the mood for. And then, like, I love reading my physical books, but, you know, they're not exactly the cheapest thing to buy. And then, like, I thought, well, if I get a Kindle, and I know I got an e-reader. I didn't have a Kindle. I had an e-reader, so I could get, like, ebooks and stuff like that. And that was okay. And then I got, so I could, like, you can add the app to devices and stuff like that. The e-reader was okay, but I got that years and years ago, but it didn't have a backlight to it. So I couldn't read at night without having the light on it. And sometimes I just like curling up in the dark and reading a book. So, basically what I ended up doing was getting, like, a small tablet, and because that had the backlight, but then that has the problem where your eyes get really tired. I turn it down and all the rest of it, but and the battery doesn't last that long. So you'd be into a really exciting part. You'd either have to have it plugged into a battery pack, or you'd be in a really exciting part and then go dead. So I saved up and got myself a Kindle last year. I think I got it. Christy, you'd know when I got that, because I was talking to you about it. So yeah, I think I got it last year, middle of last year maybe. And it has the backlight with it, so I can turn all the lights off and I can just curl up and read. And the battery lasts quite a while. It doesn't last as long as the ones that my kids had, but it still lasts quite a while. Like, I can get about, I think I get about 20 hours of reading out of it, and that's not too bad. And then I just charge it up and read something else. But and I'm like, I like shopping secondhand books as well. I don't mind getting secondhand books of old books that I want to read, and or an author I want to collect some of their back catalogue and stuff like that. So I'm happy to do that sort of stuff too. But yeah, I've just not been a fan of the library, because, as I said, you can't. You've often got to wait, and I've even suggested to Brendan, like, maybe you should get a library so you can get the free audiobooks and stuff like that. He goes, yeah, I did, but everything I wanted to read was not available and I had to wait. So, and considering we don't go out or anything like that, it's it's our entertainment. Like, we don't go to movies, we don't go out to dinner. Well, we do, but very, very rarely. And so it's, yeah, like, he spends, it'd be no different than us going out for dinner. Like, we go out for dinner, it'd cost us $60 or $70. We wouldn't spend that on books in a week between the two of us. There's no way. He actually listens to a lot of free ones on Audible now too. He's like, he sits there and searches and finds all the free ones through the Audible Plus catalogue, and sometimes they're only available for a little while. And so I have Scribed. The reason I've got Scribed at the moment is because all of the Robin Hobb books are on there. So I've got that, and so I'm trying to get through those. And like, in the audio, I do have them, a couple of them in the physical, but they also have the audio, so I can read the physical at night and then listen to the audio during the day. I've got about 200 pages left in the last one of the Farseer trilogy, so I'm thinking that I may end up re-upping to Scribe when I'm ready to read the Robin Hobb ones again, so I might drop that. Scribe's one that I drop every now and again, so I'll have it for a couple of months and then I'll just drop it. And so yeah, so that's sort of where I'm at with that one. And so I pay for my Kindle Unlimited. I have budget that I have. So I pay for my Kindle Unlimited and I have an Audible as well. And yeah, so I often get Kindle books and that come with the audio, and I still pay under what it is for the for buying just the audiobook or buying just the book. So there I have that option then. All right, do I go down one? Yes, I do. And how many do I go down? All right, I'm just going to scoot down the side here because that will make my frame really good. And I'm just going to double check that because we've established that Nicole can't count. So let me just double check that, shall we? All right. I counted it right from a distance, but it's better to double check, isn't it? So, what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm really enjoying at the moment looking through the Kindle Unlimited catalogue, and I've just created some wish lists. And so I've been reading a lot of Fiona Falpy, so Valpy, Falpy, I think is how you pronounce it. And hers are like just cozy little books to read. You know, they've generally got a soft romance in it and about a small town, and just a story. So I read, oh, what was that one that I read of hers? Just I can't think of the name of it now, but it was just a great, nice story to read, really quick to read through. But a lot of the books actually come with audio, so you can actually get, like I get on the computer and I'll go through and I'll have a look. And I've been creating wish lists of books that I want to read that are on Kindle Unlimited, but they have audio, so I don't have to necessarily read the book. But they're ones that I've been using for at work, and they're just short books, so I can listen to a book a day. And I haven't really been reviewing some of those because I have a TBR, and then yeah, so I haven't really been reviewing those. So I'm thinking that I'm going to start reviewing them because some of them are really good books. And my friend Gail, that I often mention on the channel from Wombat Hollow Crafts, she's picked up a couple of books that I've talked about and stuff like that. So, and she's really enjoyed them as well. And I got on there the other day, I picked up a new author, and her name is Mary Ellen Taylor, I think her name is. And she wrote Spring House, and it was a random pick for the bingo prom. And it turned out to be a really good story. And it's like, and because it was like, I've got all creepy books this month, I was thinking, oh, it's not really a creepy book, but it had a Ouija board in it, and it had some, like, you know, some spooky elements to it, but it was not spooky at all. So I'm like, oh, cool. And I think I was talking to Christy about it over in Discord and said to her, oh, it's got creepy vibes, so it's all good. It fits the prompts. And it's like, but it does, like, looking at the book, you wouldn't know that. But it's the story's about a house that they're renovating and the backstory of the people that surrounded this and house. And it was just a lovely story. And as I said, it was with audio, so I can burn through them pretty quick. And I thought, you know what, I really need to review these books because a lot of people like to know about these cozy books. They don't always want to know about all the weird other stuff I'm reading. So yeah, so I was pretty happy with that. And so yeah, so what I've been doing is just going through Kindle Unlimited and in the different genres that I like, and basically just I've created a wish list for them. And so if they're still available, they're still available. But it's good if I'm looking for something. Like I found a whole series from Jeffrey Whelan, a fantasy writer, and there's like I think there's like 3 of his series that are on there, and they all come with audiobook. So fantasy is a really good one to listen to audio and also do immersive reading with, because I find it a lot, um, especially with like the made up worlds and stuff like that and how they're pronounced and everything, because like you can sit there and you can look at a fantasy book and you're reading away and it's like, I really don't know how to say this word, and you try and sound it out and it just sounds weird. But whereas with the audiobook, you get someone saying it and yeah, so it's really good. In that aspect. So I've got a ton of stuff that I've got on Kindle Unlimited that is in my wish list. And then I've got like different genres, and they're all private, so you can't actually see them. And then I've got the different genres, which makes it easy as well. So if it's whatever I'm in the mood for, I can right, now just double check that, make sure. You can probably still hear me talking because I've got the microphone right there, so it doesn't matter how much I whisper. Normally I've got my phone and you don't pick that up. That's so funny. That is hilarious. All right, I can go across now, and then our little sign will fit in there. That makes it a lot easier to do the next part. So yeah, I've been going through that and getting those sort of stuff, and like a lot of the books too, that apart from the thrillers are really good because you just go in and, as I said, they're one and done. So that's why I use the Kindle Unlimited for that. And I was also reading, which I have to get back to because I got to the point. Well, so I should say I was listening to. I wasn't reading this, and I was listening to this on Scribe. And I got to the point where there was no more books out, and that was the what was his name? I can't think of his name now. It was the one that I was reading, that was like 19 books in the series, and it was the FBI agent that had a serial killer father, and Blake Pierce, that's who it is. Yeah. So the the Jesse someone, I can't think of the series now. So I'm going to get back to that, and I'm going to talk about that on this channel because that entire series was talked about on this channel, and the same as the Virgin River series was talked about on this channel. So I'm going to talk about that as well. And most of my cozies I'm going to talk about over here as well. So because a few people have said to me in the last couple of weeks that while it's great that I've got the other channel, they really miss me talking about the books on the Stitch With Me, and they were getting book recommendations and stuff like that. And I get the distinctive feeling that they don't want to follow me over on the BookTube channel, and that's fine. I just split it because there was people like not everybody likes to hear about books. So I figured going into 2023 for the Stitch With Me, I'm just going to go back to talking about books, but I'll just talk about the cozy books and stuff. So all my classics and all that sort of stuff I will talk over on my BookTube, and I'll continue to build that channel. Yeah, so if that's something that you would like to hear on the Stitch With Me, just leave me a comment down below. But I figured it gives me something to talk about as well, and you guys get something out of it. And I'm still going to, I'm definitely going to do my comparisons here, the movie and TV show comparisons, most definitely. So yeah, so a lot of my Kindle Unlimited ones are sort of like your cozy mysteries and all that sort of stuff, but I'm also going to start reading that Blake Pierce series as well, which was the perfect series. So every title was like the perfect roomer, the perfect wife, the perfect this, the perfect that, and then it had the story, and it had Jessie Hunt was the main character, and then there were side characters with her. And I think I got up to book 19 or 20, and I was waiting on, like, the actual physical books were released, but the audios hadn't come out. So I've got to go and do a search and see what audios have come out. I know that The Perfect Rumor, which was the next one in the series, that is definitely an audio, because I seen that pop up the other day, but I don't know if it's on Scribed. So that is the other thing. I may end up having to get it through Kindle, but I was getting it through Scribed, which was making it super easy to just read the whole series. And he has, or he or she, because we don't really know the gender of the author of this one, of these series, and he has a lot of crime, thriller, suspense, FBI agent style quick reads. Like, I burned through them in like 4 hours. They are definitely a workday read. But as I said, I had read so many of them that I had got up to where he was up to, and now I've left it. I think, well, I haven't read one since January, I think was the last one I read. I'd have to double check that, but yeah. So that's been quite a while, and basically it was every 2 months or so a book was coming out. So yeah, and they're not long books. Like, most of them have only been around 200 pages, but they're just short, sharp, quick paced. Yeah, like, they're not the best of, like, they're no literary fiction or anything like that, but they're just a nice read. Like, I enjoy the story, and yeah, as I said, I'm there for the stories. I'm not there to criticize writers because they didn't do something right. I'm just not into that. It's just not my bag. And so yeah, so that's what I've been doing. Like, yeah, just getting stuck right into trying to find stories that I can read with an audio for during the day. I do like to sit down at the end of the day and just curl up with a physical book, or in some cases my Kindle. So yeah, got a couple of books coming up on the BookTube channel that some of you might be interested in. I've got a few classics that I'm reading, but I've also been reading the shortlist for the Women's Prize for Fiction. And so far, so good. There's been three books that we've read, and the 3 books I've absolutely loved. I can't speak for anybody else, but I know Christy watches my Stitch with me, and she's part of the Discord group, and she's been enjoying them as far as I can tell. You know, so, and I'm looking forward to next month's one. We've got one happening every month right up until December. So I've got a couple more that I'm reading from the list as well, from the long list and whatnot. Yeah, so as I was saying, before I got sidetracked about that, I actually have a heap of fantasy books that they're not overly long fantasy books either. So they're a series that possibly could have been like a 600 or 800 page book, and there's like 3 or 4. Some cases there's 5 or 6 in the series, but they're pretty short. Like, they swing between 250 and 350, 400 pages. So, and they come with audio. So I figured it'll be a great way to read some books. And I've found, as I said, I've found some little gems in the Kindle Unlimited. Like, I've even, I don't know if any of you, I know that there's a couple of you that read them, but the Colleen Hoover books, a lot of Colleen Hoover books are on their Kindle Unlimited. So you can, some of them have audio, some of them don't. So it's a great way to read an author that's quite popular at the moment. And yeah, you can read a lot of her books. So I often go in there to look for her books and see what's on Kindle Unlimited with a audio, and I'll listen to that in the car if I'm driving anywhere, because I generally get through them before I get home or just after I get home. So it's a great way to utilize that time. And I don't know if I don't think I've actually spoken about this book on the channel, but on BookTube. So which was another book that was Brendan was reading it, and I was so surprised. We went to Gympie couple of weeks ago, and I get in the car and he goes, "Oh, I'm just listening to the end of my book," and I had to laugh. And I said, "What book is it?" And he goes, "Oh, it's a Colleen Hoover book." And I'm like, "Really?" And he goes, "It's such a good book." And the way it started, like I opened it up and had a look, because you know how you can do the sample. I went onto Kindle Unlimited and had a look at the sample, and I was listening to it, but I wasn't really paying attention because he said it was almost finished. And I said, "I'll just listen to it, it's fine." I said, "I'll forget about it. Like by the time I go to read it or think about reading it, I would have completely forgotten about it." And anyway, we were going along, and like he goes, "Oh, it's only got about 10 minutes to go." It hadn't. It was up to chapter 8. So I ended up listening from chapter 8 to whatever I think it was 27 or something. And yeah, so I ended up listening to it, and then I ended up coming, and I didn't really pay attention at first because I thought the book was ending, so I wasn't paying attention. I was just doing stuff on my phone and sort of just doing some planning and stuff like that, taking notes and ideas for videos and whatnot. And then, you know, it started to grab my attention down. I think it was like chapter 14 or 15 that I dropped into it. So then I come home and I listened to it, and then I said to Nerily, "Oh, you should get this book," because she started reading. She got a couple of Colleen Hoover books and it was on special for $10 or something. So she got it. And then she come out the other day and she was up to chapter 5 and she's like, like I could hear this raucous coming through the house. And she's just like, "Oh my God." It's got some stuff in it. And the book I'm talking about is Verity. So I am going to talk about that on my other channel, so I won't talk about it too much here, but it was a really good book. Like, I'm just like, oh my God. And yeah, Brendan really liked it as well. And I said to him, "Well, if you want to read some or listen to some, let me know, and you can just log into my Audible and I'll get them through Kindle Unlimited for you." So, which I am going to suggest to him as well once he sort of burns through all these free ones on Audible. But he said he likes and I can't get into it. It just seems like I'm reading the same book every time. And I've listened to a couple with him as well. And he's got, there's a couple of narrators, and they sound very similar. And he listens to a lot of futuristic, dystopian, apocalyptic books, and I'm just like, I don't mind them every now and again. Like, it's not that I disregard them completely. Like, and I've listened to a few with Brendan in the truck, but I just cannot get into them. Like, they are just not my cup of tea. But as I said, I don't totally disregard them altogether. Some of them I'm just like, really? Are you sure about that? This is just a weird book. But that's really his bag. And I noticed that there was a lot of them on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm guessing that they'll probably be some of the free ones that are on Audible now, because they've got that, what is it, Audible Plus catalogue, which is I get all my classics through that, which is really good, because I like to read along with my classics to really get absorbed into the story, because sub-classics aren't easy to read. And for all the Jane Austen fans out there, I know that I upset you and ruffled your feathers last year when I said that she's just not for me. I don't really like her. You'll be happy to know I'm going to give it another go, and I'm going to read it, because I only listened to them last year. I didn't actually read them. I'm going to give them another go, because I can get them free on Kindle Unlimited, and I'm going to listen and read along with it and see if I appreciate it a little bit more. But at this point in time, I do like the Bronte sisters a bit better. Yeah, sorry. But I'm going to give it another go. So I didn't say Emma. I really struggled with, and her other stories weren't that bad, but they're just not my cup of tea. But I really liked Persuasion and Northanger Abbey. Like, I really liked those books. but I just wasn't, and Mansfield Park was okay, but I wasn't a fan of Sense and Sensibility and Pride and Prejudice, and everybody loves those. And I'm just about to embark on reading Wuthering Heights as well, so you'll get to hear about that on Friday Classics over and my thoughts on that. And I've just finished Jane Eyre as well. And then in December and January, I've got another 2 books. I think I've got the Tenet of, what's the name of the Tenet? Villette is another one of the Bronte sisters, and the Tenet of Wilderful Hall, is it? I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know it's the Tenet something. But anyway, they are all on my TBR over the next couple of months and whatnot. So, yeah. And I finished middle March, but I feel like I missed a lot of that sort of stuff. And so I've got a girl that I've met on BookTube over on my other channel, and I and a few other people are doing a bit of a deep dive into that, and we're going to reread it and do it volume by volume and how it was originally released, and just read one book at a time. And basically that was started being released in December, so we're starting that in December, and we're actually reading it to the same schedule. And we're also reading the Pickwick Papers to the same schedule. Oh, actually, no, we shortened that down, and we're reading, we're cutting that in half because that went for 20 months. So we thought we'd cut that down and combine 2 months together. And we're also reading the Count of Monte Cristo, starting that in January. And that, again, that will be read how it was released, because they were serialized books, and so Pickwick Papers was the same as well. So we're doing that, and then we've got a discussion that will be happening, and we've got all sorts of things happening over on the reading channel soon. That all coming in 2023, which will be great. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to my reading year next year. It's going to be good. And the 4th round of bingo started too. I think, did I mention that yet? No, I don't think I did. 4th round of bingo started on Sunday, and so you'll be able to get your prompt every Sunday over on the BookTube channel. It'll be a short, so it's only a minute video, not a long time at all. That'll go up every Sunday. We'll do the dice roll. Super, super, super exciting. Pretty happy about that. Just a different way to do it. All right, we're going to swap colours in a minute. We're going to go to the dark green. Now I'm just going to double check that I've done that right. That looks like the picture and it looks like the chart. So we're on a roll. With that, I haven't made any mistakes today. Now, I don't know. I was on a bit of a roll with this. I don't know if I'm going to end up getting this done by Christmas. It was looking like I was going to get it done by Christmas. I'm going to be pretty close by the end of the year, though. And I hope you don't mind that I'm just going to continue on doing this. And I didn't, for the last Sunday, I didn't work on it. I just had a really bad stitching week, and so I didn't really work on it that much. I think I put a couple of stitches in, but I didn't do a great deal. And yeah, so I'm hoping that this coming Sunday I will get more into it. So next time you see this, it should be a little bit further along. And I'm also taking it with me up to the retreat on the weekend, so that will help as well. And I'll spend some time on it. Probably spend 3 or 4 hours on it up at the retreat as well on the Sunday, just to get it done. I am taking a lot of Halloween stuff with me up there, and so hopefully I will work on this. It may just be that I don't end up working on it, but we'll just see how we go. Yeah, I'm taking a couple of get off my fingers. I'm taking just a couple of projects up with me. I'm just smashing things everywhere at the moment. I'm taking a couple of projects up with me. I'm not taking a lot. So I want to try, I'm going to take Pick Your Poison up with me and get some stitches into that, because that would be so close to a finish. Like the bottles don't take very long at all. And the rest is lettering, and that doesn't take very long at all. I just need to concentrate on it. But I reckon if I put 3 or 4 hours into it at the retreat, I would get a finish up there for sure. It'd be damn close, damn close. So, and I'm just taking my tabletop frame up with me, so I can just, load up my bag and put on a floss in that I need, and just chuck my lights in and my batteries and travel pretty light. Because you're sitting around most of the day. And I've got some pants that are very comfortable to wear, but they were marketed as pajama pants, but I don't think that they look like pajama pants. They're baggy and stuff, and with a nice little jacket over the top, they're quite cute. So anyway, yeah, so hopefully, you know what, I will make time to stitch on this, even if it is on Saturday night or something. I'm going to make sure that I get some stitches into this, and I put at least 3 hours into it. And then that way I can just, that's what I'm going to do. So next time you see this will have a lot done on it, because obviously I'll be filming when I get back from the retreat. If I'm feeling okay, I'll film for the Monday. If not, I will just film sometime on the Monday, the Stitch with me, and I'll have some footage of the retreat. Sorry, I just bumped the microphone again. I will get used to it. I'm sorry. It's just hard because it's right near my chest, and that's sort of where my hand goes. That's where I've got it clipped. I can't really put it anywhere else. I don't think it'd pick up as well. I suppose I could try and clip it near the phone, but then I wanted it so if I walked away from here or I turned my head or anything like that, the audio didn't change. So the occasional bump is what we're going to get. So sorry. All right, so we are getting close to the 45-minute mark. I'm going to continue doing this thread, and then we'll wrap it up for today. That 45 minutes went really quick, and I didn't really talk about much of anything except what I'm doing with me Kindle Unlimited. So I don't know how exciting that is for you guys, but anyway, it is what it is. But do leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Like, do you think that like, I'm still going to continue with my booktube channel, but talking about all the books that I read over there. But would you like me to talk about some of the cozy ones that I read off Kindle Unlimited, and any of the free books that I find on there? And well, they're not free. I'm paying a monthly subscription, but it's sort of like a library where you you borrow them and then you've got to return them. And basically, I think you can. Because I've got Prime as well. I've also got Prime Reading. So the two sort of blend in on my computer, and I, at any given time, can have nearly 20 books in my, and I just, whenever I'm looking for something, I'll just grab it. And I found a few cozy mysteries on there too that I'm thinking that I'm going to read as well. They didn't come with audio, so they'll be good for ones like on rainy days like it is today. Just curl up with my Kindle Unlimited in bed and go from there. And read those. Cozy mysteries are always good. They're always a short book. They're fun to read as well. And I just I'm also in a book club called Cozy Hollow Book Club, and they read cozy mysteries. They've just started up on YouTube, and they're on Instagram as well. And their first one that I read was great. It wasn't one that I had planned to read. I just seen it, and I was watching Liv's Library, and she mentioned it, and I'm like, oh, that sounds so, perfect for October, because it was in the Company of Witches. And I thought, oh, I might read that, and I burnt through that. It's great. It was really quick read. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It even had some really sad parts, which blew me away. That I got a little bit teary there towards the end of it. And there's a book 2 to it, and I went in and ended up getting that as well on Kindle, so that'll be one to curl up and read. I just thoroughly enjoyed it. You can come across some perler of books on by watching BookTube and stuff like that, especially if you're an avid reader such as myself. And I'm very eclectic in what I read, though. Like, I don't read any one genre. There are a couple of genres that I don't read very much of, so sci-fi, dystopian, apocalyptic, but they're sort of, are they a genre? They fall under the sci-fi genre, but they're just like a subgenre of that one. So yeah, and yeah, I'm starting to get lots of recommendations from people as well. Lovely group member the other day sent me a book recommendation, so I'm going to suss that out, see if I can't get it on Kindle. If not, I'll try and find it in a bookstore. So yeah, looking forward to that. And for the life of me, I cannot remember what it is, and I'm not in front of the computer, and I'm using my phone to record, so that makes it a little bit tricky. But I think I am going to wrap it up for today and get editing, because I've got a few videos to edit, but we're making progress. Little by little, we are making progress. And tune in again next week for the Stitch with me, but I hope that you are all staying dry, because it has been very wet in the last couple of weeks for a lot of people, and everything is there's flooding and whatnot, so just take care and be careful on the roads, watch those potholes, and yeah, there's a few of them around in there. But that, I'm going to call it a day. That's it for me today. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. And don't forget, if you've yet to subscribe, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon beside it. And then that way you're not going to miss out on any future posts. But as I said, that's it from me today and Snow Village. And I will see you all again next time. Bye for now.